Hello. So I am currently at the farm at South Mountain. Dropped the kiddos off at school today and was just craving that connection to nature. Went to South Mountain, just walked a little bit on one of the easiest trails that's there. Didn't go very far, probably only half mile maybe total. The trail itself is only 2.5 miles, but I just needed to be in nature, and this cutie pie is sleeping. My hands are all full. In her favorite place. And so this is just a little update on the whole following the signs things. Again, I could go back and find the posts, but it's kind of a two-parter of just an update on following signs from my higher self. Giving you guys examples so that when you guys are learning how to communicate with the universe and listen to your intuition and guidance and all the things, some of you can just tune in and hear. Some of you guys just get those aha moments, those knowings. And Anita Morjani, she does talk about, how do you know if it's your higher self, your intuition guiding you, or your analytical brain guiding you? And it's always the ones that are done out of love, not fear. But as you guys know, one of the ways that we communicate, I'm a very visual person, I guess. That's how I get a lot of my signs, my messages. I do get those great aha moments, right? Like sitting on the toilet going, oh, I need to do my doing business as, for my business name, because there's going to be money coming in from work that I did under the old business name, and I need to have that set up to go so that when that check comes in, I'm able to cash it. And in the shower I get them too. But a lot of them were coming through Instagram, and I'll get there in a second. Like I said, this is kind of a two-parter of I've also been wanting to learn how to communicate still, but spending less time on social media. So I deleted the Facebook and Instagram apps from my phone. Decided to just take a little breather. I have put the Instagram one back on there, but I just felt like I was spending too much time scrolling, and I didn't want to be on there that much for me. So I put it on there just to be able to share the links to these videos, so that they're kind of in one little neat place. And if I find myself getting sucked into the Instagram scrolling, then I'll just remove it again if I want to, right? But I was worried that the universe wasn't going to be able to communicate with me, right? No, there's always a way, and they always find a way to communicate once you guys set up your methods of communication, like your guides, your higher self, the universe, God, angels, archangels, ascended masters, whatever your beliefs are, is always communicating with us. It's just a matter of whether or not we are paying attention. And when you're in fight or flight, especially, it's hard to pay attention because you're just living in fight or flight. You're not aware and open to this stuff. And And the more I come out of that and the more my nervous system calms down, the more I'm able to pay attention to stuff. And who knows, maybe one day I will hear that voice again, like I did during my NDE. Who knows? But and maybe this was why I kept seeing the Oprah stuff, was maybe to pay attention to those posts, because there were going to be posts coming up that were meant to give me messages. So I was on Instagram, and it was one of the Oprah Daily posts, and maybe that's why, maybe it was there to catch my attention so that eventually when this post popped up, I would pay attention to it. As y'all know, I'd been seeing the Oprah stuff. Oh my goodness, I still don't know what the Celine Dion stuff is, the Titanic stuff. I still don't know. But the Oprah stuff, I feel like it was like, oh my gosh, like why am I getting text messages like that say Oprah? Why am I like, what is this? And maybe it was just meant to overload me so that when this specific post came up, I would actually pay attention to it. And so, as y'all know, after Christmas, me having to kick my dad out of my house because he refused to leave when I asked him to leave, when he got in my face yelling, and the threat of calling the police was enough to get him to leave. But without that, he was refusing to leave and saying that he wasn't going to leave as he was yelling in my face. So fast forward, 3 months. Well, this Instagram post popped up. And so I have been texting my mom a little bit, but I do also feel like we've kind of almost a breakup. Like it wasn't quite, because we were still texting a little, talking a little, but I haven't talked to my dad at all since Christmas. And who knows, maybe we're just not even gonna say who knows. We're just gonna live in the present. So anyways, there was an Instagram post that popped up, Oprah Daily, and it said why I broke up with my mom. And I thought it was kind of like saying like, oh, that's kind of what I did, is I broke up with my parents. Well, it is, right? It is what I did. But when you break up, you need to break up, right? And not go back to a quote toxic or unhealthy relationship. So a week or so ago, my mom asked if me and the kids would like to come for Easter. I definitely froze in the moment. It was one of those gut punch feelings of like, ugh. Probably that was my intuition, their way of saying no, say no, say no, say no, say no. Did I listen? No, not initially. I was like, yeah, sure, we can do that. And then, my mom was asking for food requests from me and the kids, so kind of talking about that a little bit. And then over the last week, probably the last week, especially over probably the last 5 or so days, pretty much since I said yes, my skin started breaking out in the heat rash again. Oh my God, beautiful dog. Wow, hang on, folks. I'm telling you, there's kids over there too, and I don't get this excited about kids. I get excited about, I don't even know if you're going to be able to see this thing. Look at that ginormous pup. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. That is so pretty. And here's a cute kid too, but like me, dogs are what catches my attention, and Lily catches a lot of people's attention. People love babies, and I just think it's so sweet. I'm not the one to go up to a baby and be like, oh, such a cute baby. I'm the one to go up to the dog and be like, oh my gosh, your dog's so gorgeous. So anyways, since saying yes, I started breaking out on my forearms, on the right forearm mostly, which is one of my main places. Started breaking out a little bit on the back of the hand. The thing is when I say a little bit, it is only a little bit, but it feels like a lot. It hurts way worse than it looks. And then it started in between my right ring finger and pinky finger. And that to me has meant that I need to cut ties with a narcissist. That's what that specific spot means to me. And so it was one of those where it's like, well, you know, Easter is a week and a half away. I could wait. But then it's you know, there was a lot of in my head, and I go, you know, I feel like, and that was one post on the Oprah Daily. There was another one as well. And it was, what was it, about 2 girls or something like that broke up with their parents. And I 100% now realize it was the universe telling me what I needed to do. As much as I would love to patch and heal, and maybe this is the end of the line for our soul contracts. And as Matt Kahn says, yes, there are soul contracts, but when it comes to abuse, it is 100% okay to end that contract right there. That's okay. And so I came to the conclusion, day before, so not yesterday, maybe it was like middle of the night / oh yeah, no, it was yesterday morning when I was driving the kids to school, when I was driving Callie to school, because it was Hobbs and I's day off. As you guys saw that awesome video of us together yesterday. We had so much fun. Total synchronistic flow, and maybe that's why too, because, you know, I also recognized what I needed to do. And on the way to dropping Callie off at school, driving on the highway, the tears just started flowing, because that meant ending a 38-year relationship, 38.5-year relationship. And the grief was hitting me hard, and I'm sure it will still. But that knowing that that's what I needed to do was just gonna be like, well, maybe I just, and then I would just like think about that post. And I think the universe was like, no, you're like, you're onto it, and so, like I said, I needed to take a little break from social media. So the universe is like, don't worry, we got your back. We'll still communicate with you. And so I'm here at the farm at South Mountain. Lily and I just got some lunch, and I'm walking around, and I've never walked this property before, and it is beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. There's a morning restaurant, a dinner restaurant, and then we ate at the farm, which is kind of like a brunch lunch restaurant. And so I got a text message from my mom asking about drinks for the kids, and like, you know, I'm gonna go for a little walk. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna call my mom, and part of me said to the universe, I said, well, what am I supposed to say? Tell me what to say. Tell me what to say to break up with them. Tell me what am I supposed to say? And I was like, well, maybe if I say that I just want to start our own traditions, and then I started thinking about the book that I was just listening to, The 12th Insight by James Redfield, author of Celestine Prophecy. And I was like, you know, that's not being honest. And when we're not honest, for lack of a better way to say it, we're lowering our vibration, right? We're being untruthful. We're not speaking our truth. And I need to speak my truth. And so it hit me like right as I'm getting ready to call that I need to tell her the truth. So I call her. I said, hey, I got your message about, stuff for the kids. I said, I need to cancel. Since saying yes, I have started breaking out again. And so I'm going to take a break to work with my therapist on PTSD that I'm experiencing. And I'm going to take a break and focus on my health and well-being. And now therapist can be construed and so my mom got quiet and it was because she was getting very emotional on the other end, and she said, okay, well, I hope she's able to help you, something like, to that extent. And yeah, I mean, right now, I am my own therapist currently, my own guide currently. I am trying to listen to my intuition, my higher self, my soul. Now, I've been, blessed with guidance from the amazing magical mojo, Donna Morgan, for the last 2 years and 2 months is what we did, together. 2 years and a month. And it was everything I needed, and I 100% am all for therapy, right? Anything that you feel like you need in the moment, do it. And in this moment now, I would like to try to listen to my higher self and my soul and navigate this together. And if I need help, hearing things from an outside perspective to help me get that message, then, we'll do that as it comes. And so my mom, I can tell, is trying to hold back tears, and it's basically a breakup, right? Sorry. I need to cancel the date that we had, and I need to take a break from communicating to focus on my health and well-being. And I didn't say mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, social, it's all of it, right? It's very holistic. So I said my health and well-being. It seemed perfect, like everything just, and it was all true. Everything was honest and true, and it felt right. And sorry, I regularly forget to put this on silent or do not disturb before I start these messages, these videos, and text messages make their way through. And so that just felt right. And then I'm walking a little bit more, and there's this beautiful pathway that I've never explored before, and it's kind of this like hidden little mystery pathway, and it's beautiful, and there's an older woman on it. And so I kind of walk up and we start chatting, and it turns out she's got two grandchildren. Her grandchildren are 37 and 38, like same age as me. And it was just really, really nice to connect with somebody and chat. And we talked a little bit, I talked about some pretty open and vulnerable things, like with me being a single mom. And she commented on Lily's blue eyes and said, does her dad also have the blue eyes? And I was like, actually, no. I was like, he's got the brown eyes. I was like, I must just have some really strong genetics because brown's supposed to be dominant, and the blue came through with her. And so it was just nice to chat with somebody. And as she walked away, it was like, I'll be, because she was asking she was asking about me being a single mom and if I have parents, if her grandparents are in the picture. My parents are in the picture to help out, and kind of talked a little bit about that they don't really They're not like the grandparents to be like, hey, can the grandkids? And she was like, they're not like, hey, can the grandkids come and hang out for a week? She goes, man, I would take my grandkids to the beach and on trips. And then she's telling me about this trip that she did with her grandchildren to the beach. As a single mom, just her. So she was married, but she just did it without the husband along. And, to Hawaii. And so, it was a really nice connection, and it all felt just so perfect, so synchronistic, just everything lovely. And part of me, as she walked away, wanted to go, I'll be here, because she said she's not really in contact with her daughter. Her daughter encouraged her to move out here, and then now they don't even talk. And she said, then my daughter ditched me. And part of me wanted to be like, I'll be your, like, pseudo granddaughter. Can you just, like, adopt me instead? Me and my children instead? And then that's the thing, right? Like, there's other people out there looking for those connections. There are other people that are, and I promise I'm still getting here, ADD moment here with this. And so there's other people out there that are looking for those connections, right? They want a connection to a child and grandchildren that is currently missing in their life, that me and the kids could fulfill. And then we could have the grandparents, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be our blood relation. It can be someone else. And so you're hearing me now. I'm calling it in. So then, I introduced myself. I'd already introduced Lily. I said, I'm Jenny. She said, I'm Kate. My aunt's name is Kate. It's really funny. So I walk off, and I go, and I'm walking, and I realize I have a text message. And so I pull it down to read it. And this is what it says. So I called my mom at, it was like 11:23, I think it said. And we only talked for a couple minutes, so we hung up about 11:25. 10 minutes later, this comes in. This is your e-commerce company. This is confirmation message regarding your order. So 100% it's like, oh, okay, there's a spam message. No, this is the universe telling me, confirming that what I just did in making the move to, quote, break up with my parents is exactly what I needed to do. Confirmation message. Completely confirming what I just did. I didn't have to log into Instagram. I didn't have to do anything. It just came in to let me know, yes, that's what you were supposed to do. Yes. And then, of course, I go walking into this cute little botanica shop that's here on the farm, which I've never been in before. And guess what I see laying on the counter, and she's having fun kicking the bag. I also got myself a little crochet kit. I'm super excited to learn to teach myself how to crochet, and maybe I'll do this with Callie, and we can learn how to do this together. And makes a little mini bag, a couple of coasters, and a little placemat. It says it's enough to make 3 projects, and it's got beautiful bright colored, let's see if I can, my coffee's in the way, I don't know if you can see that, easy to do crochet. It's like very spring colors. So I walk into the shop, and this book is sitting right there on the counter. Your best skin. Where do I feel it? Like when I'm not listening to my soul, I start breaking out. I don't even know, I could probably show you. They're like teeny tiny little marks that I don't even know if you can see, but I mean they're a little scabbed right now because I was scratching them. If I didn't point them out, you'd never notice them. But when they were erupting, oh, it hurt so bad. Oh, it was mad. It hurt. 100% heat rash pain hurt. So, it was just beautiful that the universe was like, that's cool. you take a break from social media if you need to. You do you, boo. We will still find a way to communicate with you. We love you. We got you. You will get these messages. Dream up your life. Dream up what you want. Meeting that, grandma whose family maybe isn't in the picture. Maybe that wasn't, like the person I meant to connect with, but it gave me that idea that I can have that. That there's somebody else out there craving that relationship that me and the children can give them. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for my confirmation. And just wanted to share about my journey of breaking up with my parents. And being at peace with it, knowing it's what I needed to do for whatever reason. And I do apparently need to do it for my own health and well-being, because if not, I'm going to break out in the rash again, and I'm not doing that again. So I'm going to listen. and that's why, like, the universe is always guiding us. And it's just being open to it and listening to it and being like, oh, okay, this is what I need to do. And then, like, immediately after doing it and getting that confirmation that that's exactly what I'm supposed to do. It's so neat and so magical, and I'm gonna go fill up my coffee and head home with this beautiful girl and go work on getting the room set up, the treatment room in my home. I'm so excited for. I've already got my first client tomorrow, even though it's just gonna be in transition. And yeah, I'm excited. So start getting it set up. I'm gonna decorate it. Maybe I'll put, one of these coasters in there for people if they've got drinks or water. Maybe I'll put a water bottle in there for people for after their massage, their bodywork treatment with me, their session with me. I do like to spoil people. I'll have the cold or the room temp alkaline bottles of water. And yeah, so anywho, I love you, and that's a good one. Let's hear what the hardest breakup is that you've ever had to do, and maybe the most difficult one that you've experienced, as well as the most recent breakup that you've experienced. And I want to hear your experiences. I love you. She's trying to steal my coffee, and she really enjoyed sharing my chicken salad sandwich and pecan pie. Have a fantastic day. Okay, so I have to add just a really brief addendum. I'm sitting in the driveway until Lily wakes up, and I decided I would, go on Instagram and see if I could find the post that I was telling you guys about breaking up with my mom. And I will still go back and see if I can find it and link it below. And I'm gonna link another one below. This is what I'm talking about when I say the universe communicates, and I enjoyed some good tears on the way home, and grief, and just, probably, again, one of the harder breakups I've had to do, leaving my ex, yes, but when I ended it, kicked him out in the moment. It was very in the moment. There wasn't really thinking, it was kind of reacting, but then I guess telling him in a therapy session, and a lot of nerves there, and because I was worried about his reaction, so I waited until a therapy session so that there would be a person present to tell him that I had already told him I wanted to separate, but that was I waited to tell him in that therapy session that I am filing for divorce. And so this was, difficult too, knowing that I needed to do it, and then pulling the trigger and doing it. So I went on to Instagram to see if I could find the post, and this is the most recent post. A chosen family is where you are accepted, where you are seen, and where you are loved. I don't necessarily have this in the moment, but I love it says 5 hours ago, you know. It was 2 hours ago that I broke up with my mom, my parents, yeah, my mom. And just, come on. I mean, this happens to be the post for today. Like, just that confirmation, again, from the universe that I'll have it. I needed to break up with the family that wasn't doing those things, that I didn't feel seen, heard, validated, loved by any means, you know. It just, and I'm not saying that my parents don't love me, because I know they do, and they have been a godsend in a lot of ways, in helping me heal. A lot of financial assistance that not a lot of other people, a lot of other people's parents, family members are willing to do, and a lot of support of my decisions over the years. But now it's time to call in, you know, break up with that family and call in the new family. Call in the family that I do feel seen, heard, validated, loved. And Daniel always said, seen, heard, validated, valued. And making space for that and not trying to change my parents, because they're who they are. Not trying to change them and expect something out of them that they're not. It's not them, right? And if I've now decided that I need more, or I want more, different, I love that. The confirmation that it's coming. Okay, I will see now if I can find this other post as well, but I'll also link this one for you guys. So just, I mean, come on. That's synchronistic right there. Like, here's exactly what you talked about. Posted 5 hours ago, 3 hours before the breakup. Here you go. Alright, guys. And signing off again. I love you. Now I want to hear that too, you know? I said let's hear about the breakups. Let's hear about the family that you have cultivated. That might not be blood family, but is the family that you are creating instead. Your chosen family. Let's hear it. I love you guys. Oh my goodness, I know you guys. Sorry. Not sorry. I forgot. There was also this one too. This one was great. Especially with things that I went through with Danielle and just the loss of other friendships over the last few years. Oh my goodness, guys, why is she so full of such amazing posts? This one is so perfect too. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is not complete. And I was listening to this amazing podcast, I guess video. I don't know, is it a podcast when it's video still too? Of Jay Shetty with Drew Barrymore, and she talks about this too, and how we often are very compassionate towards other people and often our own worst critics, and this was one thing that my therapist, who, as you see, she liked it down below, Donna Morgan Mojo, this was one of the things that she had talked about is when I had come to the realization that I needed to break up with him and end things with Lily's dad, and I was shaming myself for getting into this position in another unhealthy, toxic, abusive relationship. And I'm going to say yes because it's not even just that person being abusive to me, but me allowing myself, me abusing myself, me allowing myself to be treated in a way that I deserve to be treated better, and my soul wanted better. And so, feeling almost ashamed that I fell into that pattern again. And that was one thing that Donna had said to me she goes, just do what you do with other people. I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, you wouldn't judge one of your clients in this position, so just do what you do with them, but with yourself. I was like, huh. What a fascinating spin on it. And she was so right. Like, I would not judge another person for this. I would have compassion for them. So why am I being so harsh on myself instead of having compassion? I swear, this account is just full of all the things I needed to hear, which is how I end up getting sucked into Instagram sometimes. Oh, touche, universe, touche. I always say universe has got jokes. The day I broke up with my mother, I found it. I just did not listen. March 7th. Now I'm laughing because I knew March 7th was supposed to be like monumental. March 7th last year was the day the divorce decree was legal. We had signed it on Friday. I think March 7th was that following Monday. That was the day the judge signed it. That's the day it legally went into effect. The year before, that was the day of my NDE. The day that I briefly passed. And then came back and then realized, I need to get my breast implants out. Which is so funny because now I love myself. Like, without them. Like, I love the way I look and feel. And it's been 2 years, And I felt like there was something on March 7th. So when March 7th came and went, I was very like, Well, that was kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Not exciting. It's the not special. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. I keep wanting to say lackadaisical, and I don't think that's the right word. It's very just blah. And I was like, well, that's, where was the accomplishment? The cool thing that happened today. And I was like, all right, nothing. Maybe that was the day, I was supposed to break up with my parents and didn't. Because I broke up, officially, like, legally, done with my ex last year. And I mean, we still have to talk because of the kids and whatnot. But, the year before, I broke up with my breast implants and I guess broke up with myself, the old me, with the birth of the new me. But that's too funny that I did not realize that was the date. Well, not even a month later that I listened. So there you go. I'm listening quicker and quicker, and maybe it was just also letting me know that coming up, your parents are going to reach out and ask you to come over for Easter, and you need to say no. And I think it was. I did see another post, like I said, to another story, and I don't remember where that one was, that talked about, I think it was a couple of girls breaking up with their parents too, basically the same idea. I love it. I just love all the things. And I'm a very visual person, very verbal, like words of affirmation, this kind of stuff always catches my attention, for sure, versus like pictures. I'm more words kind of person. So, again, I will share that post below and the other one about creating your family. And I mean, just now have fun scrolling through Oprah's Instagram and see if there's anything that resonates with you, or don't. Don't get sucked into the Instagram vortex, or do it and enjoy it. I love you. third time's a charm, fourth time's a charm, fifth time. I don't even know how many times I've ended this video now. Thanks, guys. Again, these are raw. These are in the moment. This is me on my journey as it's happening. So, thanks for following along.